Thank you for watching Ebony Ladies in the DR. I'm your host, Bridget. Please, right now, stop what you're doing, turn on your notification bell so you can get the daily tip from an expat each and every day, and like, subscribe, and share this channel. Y'all saw the topic, right? Yes, they did go there. So let me explain. Let me vent. This episode is for me to vent. Y'all know I have to do it every now and then. If you're a regular on my channel, you already know what it is. I got to do it. It doesn't come often. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, I posted a short and an episode for expats to avoid Fruisa for the friendly, peaceful protests. That's what I did. I did not give an opinion that I was against the protest or for the protest. None of that. I did not give an opinion. Well, let me tell y'all, they tried to come for me. If you go back and read my comments, read the comments from the episode from the short, yes, somebody told me to go back to where I came from, go back to my own country. Y'all don't even know. That is a trigger for me. And then one of the people was a supporter of the radical person. So let me get back. If you are new to the channel and you didn't see those episodes, well, there was a man, there's a guy, a Dominican. I like to refer to him as a radical because he planned this protest in Fruisa, a part of Punta Cana, that is mostly concentrated where Haitians live, right? I go to Fruisa, is literally 10 minutes from Cocotal, where I live in Punta Cana, and he wanted to do a peaceful protest. But his peaceful protest, he said, if you have a gun, bring it with you in case a Haitian walks by. So yes, that's a radical. Anybody who incites violence is a radical to me. And so people, his supporters and some MAGA supporters from the US, what the, you know what I want to say? You know what I mean? But I'm not going to say it. I try to keep my language clean, but MAGAs of all people, y'all are the main people that Orange 47 do not like. People living in foreign countries illegally because most of the MAGA supporters don't have residency, don't have citizenship because they're always in the expat groups talking about how they avoid it, how they're going to avoid it. So right there, these are people that like to break the law. And then the Dominican radical supporters. So he showed up to the protest, right? The radical guy who organized the peaceful protest shows up with a shirt that simply said 2028. So he's a politician. He is running for office. So he apparently follows along the footsteps a little bit too much of Orange 47 as well, because their agenda is always to fuel people with hatred. You know, you want to fuel other Dominicans who want to hold on to the beef with the Haitians, don't want the Haitians taking over the Dominican Republic. I get it. Same thing in the US. People think the Mexicans are taking over the US and taking all of the jobs. I am just like, y'all all can give me a break. I don't want to hear it. I'm tired of it. It's a mess. But not one time did I take a side. I simply said, avoid the peaceful protest, and for good reason. So what happened? The National Guard was there, the military, they dispersed 1,500 National Guards for the Dominican Republic for a peaceful protest in a little bitty part of town, Fruisa, that has two main streets. The protests were literally on two main streets. And it turned out not to be a peaceful protest. But the funny thing is, it was more Dominicans that got arrested than Haitians. The Haitians were chilling. They were minding their business. They had their shops open. It was a Haitian, and I'm watching the live for Bavaro Digital. So this isn't stuff that I'm making up. You can go back and see the footage if you follow them on Instagram. And like I said, if you are living in Punta Cana full time and you weren't aware of these things going on right 10 minutes, 15 minutes from where you live, shame on you because you need to know what's going on. So, back to the peaceful protest that wasn't so peaceful. The military had to activate the little smoke bombs to calm people down. They had to shoot water hoses. Y'all, I felt like this was a episode from or a video or old historical footage from Selma, Alabama, the kind of foolishness that is going on and taking place in 2025. But it was mostly Dominicans. But my problem with the peaceful protest is it was 4 hours from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now, y'all know how Dominicans drink. They start drinking Presidentes at 8 o'clock in the morning. So by 2 o'clock, they already a little tipsy. But if you got a whole bunch of like-minded people together that don't like Haitians, that want to start a beef, that want confrontation, that want to get fired up, that's 4 hours of drinking. 4 hours out in the sun, out in the heat, fired up from 2 to 6. That should not have been that long to begin with. So that by 5 o'clock hour, 5:30, it was craziness. There weren't a lot of fights, but there were a lot of Dominicans doing foolish things, like throwing bottles when they saw a group of Haitians together, riding by, I'm sure calling names, doing all kinds of things. I'm watching the live. It was crazy. So by 5:30, they want to put an end to it. The military police, they're trying to break it up. They're trying to get Dominicans to go home. Yeah, it was a sight. Dominicans had their flags on, typical MAGA, had their flags on their head and across their back and riding in the cars with the, outside of the protest because the streets were blocked off, with the flags and all of that. I didn't comment one way or another. I simply said, expats, stay away, because you don't want to be involved in something that could have turned into a full blown riot and gotten hurt or gotten injured. So I was just looking out for my like minded community, right? Oh, they went in. So when I got the repeat offenders, that's what I'm gonna call these crazy people who was coming after me, the radicals and the MAGAs, the idiots, they're all alike. Their wordings are the same. Go back to where you came from, blah, blah, blah. And it is just so interesting to me that, and I'm not naive to racism and all of that in the Dominican Republic, just like in the United States. Racism and ignorance go hand in hand, and Dominicans got them just like the United States have them. But they came for me in full force, telling me to go back to where I came from. And I just thought that was so interesting, but it really did make me mad. I don't know, it just triggered it because I am like, every single day, what I noticed is the deportation efforts are as not as aggressive after the political period, just like in the United States. So after the elections are done, it kind of chills until you get your radicals firing up the politicians. And then in Dominican Republic, then you'll see the roundup start to happen again. But what they are learning, what I find very interesting is they have, I think the president, Rev. Abinader, his goal was 10,000 Haitians deported per month for 2025. The beginning of the year started out strong. He was rounding them up. Then you never saw it again because if you are a expat that likes to stay informed like me and kind of know what's going on around you, then you would know that there are tons of lawsuits going on against these builders. And you know why? Because they're delivering projects 1 year, 2 year, almost 3 years late. Well, one thing about Americans, I don't know about Canadians and people from Russia and Czechoslovakia and Venezuela and Spain, all of those people. But I know one thing about Americans: you keep delivering their stuff late, they're gonna sue you. So it's a lot of lawsuits going on. So as the lawsuits continue to increase, the deportations decrease. Why? Because your Haitians are the ones that are out here doing the hard labor. So it's really crazy for me for a Dominican to tell me to go back to where I came from because you like our American dollars very much. And I like how strong my American dollar is right now, especially in the Dominican Republic, with it being $1 to 62 pesos. Yeah, I'm there for a cheaper lifestyle. Absolutely. I'm not going anywhere. Get used to my face. Go ahead, subscribe to my channel, talk all the noise you want because I'm real good at coming back and having a quick comment and addressing your concerns and needs on my channel. It doesn't bother me one bit. So you can keep saying what you want to say, no problem. But be very careful when you're always throwing up, go back to where you came from, because the American dollar, we spend a lot of it in the Dominican Republic. And I know for a fact that the money that is spent there by just Americans alone has fueled this economy the last 3 years in a huge way. Okay, so you might want me to go back to where I come from, but I don't think the people in power want me to go back to where I come from with my American dollars. And another thing that I'm seeing around the Dominican Republic and especially Punta Cana, Bávaro area is on the menu or going into businesses or on their Instagram or their WhatsApp messages, they say, we speak English. Oh, is that right? Why? Why are you catering to English speakers if you don't want us in the Dominican Republic? So you can't have it both ways. You can't be this person reaching out to me and saying, go back to where I came from, because this is what business owner, and I'm going to put them on blast. That episode is coming, and I'm not going to, and if you're smart, you're not going to support them. They're Dominican owned business on Facebook, expat groups promoting their businesses every single day, but then in my comments telling me to go back to where I came from so we can keep our dollars from your business. Because let me tell you, like they organized that peaceful protest, like Americans are shutting down Tesla, are shutting down Tesla dealerships, are shutting down Target stores. If we get together and put our mind to it and stop spending our money there, you're not the only one that has that business. That's what you need to remember while you're sliding into my comments with your rude and ignorant self. Okay? So that's what I wanted to say. But I had to vent because I was so mad because how are you going to tell me to go back to where I came from? Right? And it wasn't even an appropriate comment because I never gave my view on it. I never gave an opinion on it. I have addressed the Haitian Dominican beef a million times just from history, from what the Dominicans tell me, what from other Haitians tell me. And it's like a long-standing feud, and I get it, and it's not going away anytime soon. The president is going to be strong on deportation for a minute, and then he's going to ease off because he don't want all of these lawsuits hurting the business of tourism and investing that's going on, especially in the city of Punta Cana, in the sector of Punta Cana. So yeah, I had to vet because it makes me so mad for somebody to tell you to go back to where you came from. We are free to live anywhere we want to. All right, and exercise our voice and be a part of the community. And that's what I want expats to learn. That's why it's so important to know everything that's going on around you so that you can make a uniform decision on how to go forward. Now, the radical crazy person is now trying to have another peaceful protest. It wasn't peaceful, but the silly government has approved it. So the next protest, I think, is like April 27th. So I'm going to do another episode in short to say, stay away from these areas. I think that he's doing two on the same day. I think one is going to be in Fruisa and one is in the Barone sector somewhere. Not sure where, but it's foolishness because what good is this doing? You're bringing awareness to what? It's an issue that is widely known. Your peaceful protest is not furthering the agenda is not helping anything. All it's doing is adding hate to the atmosphere. That's all it's doing. A lot of tension and a lot of hate. And, so a lot of people were dragging him in the comments as well. So there are some smart Dominicans out there who feel like he's a fool and that these protests should not be going on. They were telling him other things that he could be doing in other places that would be more of a benefit, like in the capital area, to where the government offices are, where the president lives, to do those kind of protests and let the voices be heard. But they pointed out that this clown has a YouTube channel. I ain't even gonna give him the time of day. But they're saying he does a lot of the protests and he's doing all of this for clout, for subscribers, for content. Y'all, if y'all know me and my YouTube channel existence for like 6 years now, I just have over 5,000 subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. I don't care if I ever get to 100,000 subscribers or even 10,000 subscribers. I would love it because that's more people getting the information that they need to move abroad and move to another country, or especially move into the Dominican Republic. But if it doesn't happen, it's okay by me because I know I'm making a difference to so many people. I'm not going to start making content that's foolish and things that are hurtful and things that are confrontational and things like that, because that's not who I am. I don't need to build up that many subscribers, and this isn't my job. This is something that I do to satisfy myself and my need to help other people. So you are never going to see all of a lot of the stuff that you see from some of the other content creators that focus on the Dominican Republic. We're all different. We all have our own different styles. And mine is never going to be about exploiting people, going out into the ghettos and showing y'all ghetto living. I don't know nothing about that. I ain't got no business in the ghetto. I ain't grew up in the ghetto. I don't live in the ghetto. So, that type of thing. So it's just that it's crazy that, people have been messaging me saying, oh, he's a YouTuber like you. Nothing like me. He's a YouTuber and a lot of stuff he does is just for content and he just wants attention. I don't just want attention. I don't even need attention. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm just like one more person, if anybody ever in public, in person, face to face, tell me to go back to where I came from, you already know. I'm going to have to let them have it. It might be a physical fight because that is a trigger for me coming from the United States and having an idiot, Orange 47, as the president of America at this time and all of the things that he's doing to set America back in time is crazy. And so to have people tell me, go back to where I came from, ooh, child. Okay. I have vented. I know you guys are like, ooh, enough is enough. We get the point. Do not go to the protest on April 27th because it is not going to be a peaceful protest because more idiots are going to come out. They had a bus that was free for people to come to the protest from Santo Domingo. So they offered that again, and there's going to be in 2 different locations. It's not going to be safe. Don't go out your house. That day, we ran errands early in the morning. We saw all of the military trucks going by, and I was like, that is not a good thing. Why do they have so many? Because they were expecting, it to turn into a full-blown riot. So I am not going to go near that way, April 27th. Stay tuned for the update on the location. But in the meantime, follow Bavito Digital, Bavito News, subscribe on Instagram. They are wonderful. It's a great news outlet, and it's not like many of the news outlets in the U.S., not one-sided by any means. They give both points of view. Otherwise, I would absolutely not be following them. So that is my venting. That is what I had to get off my chest this day. So guys, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you always listening. Put your comments in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Turn on your notification bell so you can get your daily tip from an expat. All right, guys, that is it for me today. I appreciate you and have a good week.